Djævlen har ikke brugt så meget som 2 sekunder på dig.
So as you know, the Department of Justice just released another batch of Epstein files. I mean, it is just so brutal, man. The way they talk in those emails, while you wait slave, while you deal in the real world. It revealed how everybody was in bed with this guy. Basically every side of the political spectrum. Businessmen, politicians, elites from pretty much every nation. How well connected they are. And you really start to realize the sheer brutality of it all. When you remember that this is probably just a, small part, the tip of the iceberg. Just imagine what else was being said in those phone calls during their actual private conversations. Because people are obviously going to be more cautious over emails. So even the released emails are probably only the mild stuff. They didn't release the real spice materials. All the people in those mails, left, right, powerful businessmen, they were all talking shit after Jeffrey's arrest, trying to distance themselves from him.
Those meetings were a mistake. They didn't result in what he purported, and I cut them off. That goes back a long time ago now. So there's nothing new on that.
It was reported that you continue to meet with him over several years.
No, apparently Jeffrey wrote an email to himself. That email was never sent. The email is, false. So I don't know what his thinking was there.
But now the proof is out in the open. They were body with him the whole time. The whole fucking time, guys. Elon was like, oh, what a creep, I always refused to go to his island. He was tweeting that stuff because he probably thought those documents would never see the light of day. That is why he was blatantly lying. Because he assumed that the government, Democrat or Republican, would never release those files. Because everybody else is also in them. They were all in the same bed. Because guys, understand, political ideology is for you. For them, there is only power. There is only Musk, nothing else. Elon and Trump are in the files, but Bill Gates and Clinton are also in there. Guys, political ideology is only for your oofy-doofy ass, not for the political leaders that sell you that ideology. And now that the truth is out in the open, Elon is crashing out on Twitter. Because it is obvious now, he lied. He didn't refuse at all. He was the one. In fact, he was the one asking Epstein on multiple occasions too. In 2013, Elon says this, when should we head to your island on the 2nd? So he was looking forward to it. It just didn't work out. Jeffrey called it off. And guys, these emails are 100% real. Like Elon is crashing out saying that they are fake. They are very much real, guys. And you can check it yourself. You can literally go to the website of Department of Justice and check it yourself. It is all public. Another one. This is from 2012. Jeffrey is asking Elon, how many people will you be for the heli to island? Probably just Teluhe and me. What day, night will be the wildest party on your island? So not only he was the one asking to go there, but he also most likely did go, bro. There's just no proof. Just like we didn't have proof that whether he refused or not. Because if you lie about asking him, why should we believe that you didn't go through with it? And he isn't the only one, guys. A lot of people, very powerful people, are in those files. Businessmen like Bill Gates, you got politicians, presidents. It is an international web. And guys, they all knew. They all knew what was going on that island, okay? They went there willingly and knowingly. Anything else is just cop. Because Myron was saying that. Myron was claiming that, they thought that they would be only models, professional models. Once they got to the island, only then they realized that they were compromised. It's just a pitiful cop, bro. They all knew.
Jeffrey Epstein, for those of you that, that know that was compromising all these politicians and powerful people, one of the things that he did was Ghislaine Maxwell would be going to the UN, talking about the environment, all this other stuff, right? And she'd deal with all these very high-level politicians. Then they'd have parties. Guess who brought all the girls? It was Jeffrey Epstein. He would bring all the girls who were of age, right, at these parties, right, because he would get them from a guy named Jean Brunel, because he worked for Victoria's Secret. He had all these models. They'd go to these parties, have all these beautiful women, Guys want to get to know, who is this guy, Jeffrey Epstein? He has all these Victoria's Secret models there because the guy that backed him, Les Wexner, was the owner of Victoria's Secret, and Brunel worked for him getting the models. So they bring these girls. So he's there with Ghislaine Maxwell, and he has a bunch of models there. People are going to want to know who he is. Oh, come to my ranch in New Mexico. Oh, come to meet me in West Palm Beach. Oh, come to my house in France, in New York City. So he has, the social proof with the women there, the location proof. And then when they do show up, there's 15-year-olds there. Now they're compromised. So that's an example of like how powerful social proof is when you have other women with you, where you can get these diplomats and powerful people to show up at your house. Next thing you know, there's underage girls there and they're compromised. That's a big part of the game that he had.
Bro, Epstein was already convicted way before those emails. It was already known what that island was for. Elon says it himself. It was literally called, Lolita Express. They knew, bro. They knew what they were getting themselves into. They just didn't care. They just thought that, they could do anything with impunity. And now they are throwing him under the bus, Epstein under the bus. Because their lies regarding their relationship with him are now out in the open. Oh, when I said 2015, I was mistaken. My mind was playing tricks on me. No, dude, you weren't mistaken. You just lied. Because, dead men tell no tales after all. And guys, I know what you're gonna say. But why would all those powerful and rich men risk incriminating themselves? Guys, because they are used to impunity. They don't think like you do. Just try to imagine how much stuff they were able to get away with before it came to that. How many more Epsteins they knew and interacted with, partied with. Like, those guys don't operate like you do. You get a match on Tinder, and the chick says, oh, I am actually 16, not 19. And you are going to assume it is a sting operation. But those guys are not like you. They are just so used to getting away with anything, doing anything and everything with impunity, nothing bothers them. They don't give a shit. And another brutal thing we see in those emails. People like Epstein see us exactly how we see the oofy doofy. To them, we are the oofy doofy. Check this out. This is the way the Jew make money and made a fortune in the past 10 years. Selling short the shipping futures. Let the go deal in the real world. He's like, go deal in the real world. Go work a real job while we make millions of stock market manipulation. I mean, brutal, but what are you gonna do?
Go and do the cleaning. Go and do the vacuuming. Isn't there some dishes that you need to be doing? And now all you need me to do is leave. You just need me to go. Need me to get the clothes and leave. That would be a lot better for you, huh?
Remember how you guys were roasting that Aussie oofy doofy? That is how they see us, as suckers, The way we look at oofy doofies is how the elite looks at us. I mean, I know just last week I encouraged people to get into career fields, get a job, but this is so brutal, man. Life is so brutal. It really makes you feel like you were destined to lose. How do you not get disillusioned after reading all these emails? Seeing how much money they have, what kind of lives they lead, the way they talk about you. Meanwhile, you are living like a rat, like a fucking rat, in your studio apartment. $2 studio apartment. Wake up every day to go to work. What are you gonna do, bro? Tell me, what am I gonna do? Like, the difference between a lawyer, making, let's say, $150 a year, and a McDonald's wager age making minimum wage. The difference between them is so minuscule, bro. Is so minuscule in comparison. Like, no matter how good of a salary you got, how good of a job you got, you are a lot closer to that Starbucks barista than to people like Jeffrey. And always will be that way, no matter how hard you work. Like, how do you not get disillusioned after reading these emails? And I am saying this right after I told people to get into career fields. Work, but for what? To get your mind off the mug, the ringer you are going through. I mean, that is the only thing you can do. If you slave away harder, maybe you won't have time to think about the ringer you are going through. Just so fucking grim. Everything is. You are trying to create value, but then you see these guys and they are like, we are the value. You go to work to increase our value. This life difference is what normies can't wrap their heads around. That is why they ask those dumb questions like, Oh, why would Elon do such a thing and risk his reputation? Because guys like Elon live in a world beyond your comprehension, beyond your imagination. Like, those guys are a nation of their own. You have got Arab elites in those files partying with Jeffrey. Every country is the same, simply because human nature is the same, is universal. You have got sons of Iranian government officials partying with Stacys in Europe, buying up the billionaire street in London, all the while selling that the West is evil ideology to their people back home. Like, whether you make 30K or 300K, ideologies are for you, not for them. Even if a war breaks out, their sons and daughters are going to be fine in the West. There won't be no justice. Just like how they made Jeffrey the fall guy. No arrests, no prosecutions. Nothing is going to happen. People like Jeffrey are just the middlemen. Middlemen to be thrown under the bus when shit goes south. And now all of a sudden they are all like, oh, what a creepy loser. I have never seen him in my life. When further evidence comes up, I was just photobombed. Elon was saying that for his images with Epstein's wife a year ago. But now there's solid evidence that he wanted to go there. He wanted, at least. Oh, what a creep. Sure, bro. Dead men tell no tales. Just lie. Who is gonna know, right? All those guys Jeffrey was body with. They all turned on him. Because assets and middlemen are always expendable. Always. You are gonna get dropped on your head if you mess up. Even if you are a billionaire, you are alone when you fuck up. Even if you are working for one of the most powerful organizations in the world. You might be a valuable asset, but you are still an asset at the end of the day. And assets are always expendable. They threw them under the bus. And the real culprits will keep living great lives while you wake up every morning to slave your day away. There will be no justice. Like Hamoudi said, there is no justice in our system. If you could resurrect Epstein and let him talk freely, you would realize how he was just a fall guy. You would realize how those emails are nothing compared to what else was happening. How many others were also involved. You would realize that Jeffrey was just hosting the lobby for the actual players. Because reality is always more brutal than what meets the eye. Don't be a free agent in life.